Okay. Okay. Are you folks able to see the screen? Okay. Awesome. Okay. So my name is Keku DePonte. I'm with the Maui Workforce Development Division office, but I am located at the American Job Center um, here at the DMV building. So I'm just going to go briefly into HireNet Hawaii for employers. HireNet Hawaii is a state workforce website that DLIR uses. DLIR is the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. Our office, Workforce Development Division, and Unemployment Insurance uses HireNet Hawaii amongst the First to Work program as well, and some other partners that do workforce programming. Let me see. Okay. So this is the agenda. So I'm just gonna again talk about why use HireNet Hawaii. I'm actually going to go through a play-by-play of how to register your business as a direct representative, and I'll explain that in that portion. I'll also provide the Maui Workforce Development Division office address and contact info, as well as our Molokai office. And then I'll have my information as well. And then I'll be open for questions. Hopefully I can answer them. If not, I will take them down and I will get you the information at a later date. Okay. So why HireNet Hawaii? So HireNetHawaii.com, it's a online job seeker workforce service system that GeoSol, which is Geographic Solutions, they're the vendor that actually does all the upgrades and the maintenance for it, but it's covered by us, the DLIR, and it's accessible to employees or job seekers, employers, businesses, and then of course us, workforce programs. And then within that, it's supposed to be compatible to everybody. It does have language translation for most languages, and it is compatible with screen readers for those that utilize that as a accommodation. Okay, so what can I do in HireNet Hawaii as an employer? So you can post job openings. So on there is a section where you can do job orders, and you can actually post your positions in there where job seekers are able to look for them and apply either directly in HireNet, or it'll take them to a different website to apply, like if you have an external website. Find candidates and review resumes. So within there, employers can actually search out candidates that are looking for jobs that's relative to the job categories that they're posting, and contact them directly in HireNet or through their contact information that's on their resume. Evaluate applicants. So within the job order, and you identify a candidate, there is a internal system in there that actually rates them based on their qualifications or how much they match to the actual job order that you posted. Research labor market information. So within there is a section where it'll take current labor market information for different industries and give a snapshot of the quality or the health of the industry. For example, it'll talk about green industries. It'll talk about like construction, IT, um, social services, like all those different categories. And then it'll actually give a snapshot on the outlook of it. Okay. Learn about the Site 3 Central Learning Hub. So within there is a central hub where employers can actually access training videos and resources and other tools to further help them with posting their jobs or identifying candidates or even just learning more about HireNet itself. And then continuously, HireNet Hawaii has upgrades. And so stay tuned to those. So it's not just one and done. Throughout the years, they've been doing multiple upgrades, some as soon as a month, some as long as a year. So it just depends on the feedback and the, the adaptability of, the needs for today. Okay, so I'm just going to go through how to actually register a business on HireNet. So when you go to the main page, you would, try to sign in. But if you don't have an account, then in the middle, there's a section for individuals and employers and agents. So you would choose the employers and agents. Okay, then there's 3 different types. So for this slide deck, I'm only doing direct representation of your organization. So these folks are actually like the business owner themselves, the director, anyone that has legal authority to open, close, pretty much do whatever for the actual business, like has a legal say in the business that's tied to them. Not necessarily a agent, but more so like the actual business owner or director. Okay. Then after you choose that, then you will have this box that asks about your identification. So depending on the type of business, if it's if you have it registered as like a business with a employer identification number, you would use that number. If you have the business registered under your name with your attached to your social security number, then you would use your social security number. Then you confirm that. And then if you do have a unemployment insurance employer account number, you would fill that in. But in this screenshot, it's not required. But it is recommended to have it, especially if you're wanting to do business with the state. Okay, then the next section, you're going to create your login. So you would choose your username and password. You would confirm that, and then you would also choose a security question and a security response or an answer to that. Then the next screen will show your actual employer identification. So you put the company name, or if the name is registered under your physical name where it's attached to your social security number, you'd put that name. And then the primary location of where the business is. We understand that there isn't, all brick and mortar. It could be mobile. So you would want to put the address that mainly your business is going, you're working out of. If you have multiple sites, then later on, there'll be a section where you can actually choose the different sites and associate different job orders with it. And then in this next section, after you're done with that, you would actually put in your contact information. So this would be like the owner or the primary contact for the business. So if you have multiple sites, you will want to make sure that you have a point of contact that would at least be able to reach out to the different sites. If you only have one site, then you would just want the one person that would be the primary contact. And then you would put their title, fill out their first and last name, a contact number, and an email address. And then the type of notifications you'd want that person to receive, and then their website. And I'll go over the notifications in a bit. Okay, so this section with the notifications. So there's 4 different types. Some of them may not apply if the other, like say for the individual that you're reaching out to, if they don't have the same, then you wouldn't be able to reach out to them in that way. So for example, like for this case, Robert Brown is the regional manager. So he would like, instead of applications or candidates that's reaching out to go to his email, he's actually using the internal message. And so the internal message is like a little mailbox within HireNet that has information about who contacted, if there was any candidates that applied, or if there's any notification like the job order is expired or anything like that, it'll go through that inbox. So it won't inundate your email or your text message. Email, of course, it'll be a direct email to your email. Text message is a direct message to your cell phone. Your cell phone must have text message capability, but you'll actually see the entire text of within the message. And then text message notifications are just like notifications. So it's a real brief summary or just a subject line to say, hey, check this out. Okay. Then the next section after that is the company information. So within this section, you would actually have to put down the type of industry that your company is. So for this example, it's showing that the industry is a building construction or industrial building construction company. And you'd have to note the company size, which in this case is 20 to 49, and the type of employer. So in this case, it's private sector. I do believe in those. There are like nonprofit, and then other like government type companies you can actually select in there. And then it does ask if you're a federal contractor. And so that question, it's saying that if you do have contracts with the federal, any federal grants or any federal, I guess, groups, like, for example, the Department of Defense may issue contracts to do any type of construction. So then you would say yes. And then there is a section within that asks for special characteristics. So within that, it'll say, veteran friendly, veteran owner, disability friendly. And those are unique and will stand out more because they actually work more or tailor towards targeted groups and special populations. And then the next section is benefits offered. So you can actually put down the type of benefits that you offer that's associated with the job. So in this case, they selected medical, dental, vision. You can get vacation, holidays, sick leave, and there's a company vehicle. You can put no benefits provided, or you can put down benefits not specified, and then it would be at your discretion to, when you get these candidates, to talk with them about the type of benefits you provide. And then after that, depending on the information you put down, there might be a hold for 2 to 3 days or longer for one of our folks to actually go through and review, make sure that all the information is credible, and then they also do a check, make sure that the business is valid. And then if it isn't valid or if there's any discrepancies, then we will reach out to whomever is the contact person to rectify it. In those cases, I would make sure that any information you put in there is accurate, because anything delayed, anything incorrect will cause delay. And especially if you're wanting to recruit quickly, this will put a damper, because then one of us will have to check and make sure that all the information is correct. And we won't give the go ahead or release it until everything checks out. So it would be, to your advantage to make sure that all the information is correct. And then if you don't have that information, get it first before you post it, so that it won't delay the review and then the release for the posting job orders. And then after all of that's done and you get approved, then there's 2 sections that you can go into. One is add locations and contacts. So you can add other sites and you can add other contacts. And those could be tied into the primary location, or you can have it where it's associated to a specific sub-location. And then the dashboard, which is pretty much the overall. And within there, you can create a job order and then, complete it. Then once that's posted, it may hold 2 to 3 days or even longer, depending if the business hasn't been verified, or if the job order has something where it doesn't make sense. It might be on hold until one of us can review it and then reach out to you for clarification, and then we can release it. And then this is our contact information for the Wailuku office, and then our Molokai office. And then just a little quote: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Meaning that even though, you have these job orders, get your candidates and say they, they move on, it's okay, just keep on going. Or if you make mistakes within, don't worry about it, just keep on going. Doesn't kill you. And then just to kind of summarize it again, HireNet can benefit employers by providing free staff assisted services, job posting, and job seeker to job posting referrals to local employers. And then, contact your local workforce development division office for Maui and Molokai. And then that's pretty much it. And that's my contact information. And yeah,
Right
that's
on. Thank you very much, Keku. That was awesome. And it's HireNetHawaii.com is a quite the tool for many reasons, and you just outlined a lot of them. And your job site, like the Maui County Virtual Job Fair, are similar in a lot of ways. So you covered some ground for me that I'll just go through, and I'm going to take a little different tack on the presentation, not the innards of doing it, but what an employee or a job seeker sees and would be interested in clicking on an employer. What would make that happen? So it's kind of where I'm going to go with that. So I want to thank you for participating twice today. Totally appreciate
You're welcome.
it. And you're on tomorrow as well. So I'm looking
Yes.
forward to that too, but you did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. So I'm just going to share a portion of my screen. Let me get my stuff together. Whoops. There we go. And let me get this lined up correctly. There we go. All right. So I'm going to cover today the Maui County Virtual Job Fair. And the reason why I'm doing this, whoops, I got to move over a little bit, folks. Sorry about that. The reason why I am doing this is when we have so many applicants and we have so many businesses on, we really have to look at, first of all, I'm Nicole Fisher. They call me Nico, and I'm the project manager for the Maui County Virtual Job Fair. So what this is going to offer you is the ability to attract people to click on your business. And so that's kind of the tack I want to take today. And we'll see how well we do. If I can get this lined up properly so I could read it, that would be awesome. All right. So as I said, I'm Nico Fisher, and I've been working on this project since 2020. It was right during COVID that we put this all together, this and the Maui American Job Center. So a lot of the things that Keku talked about, it's the same, really, it's a job fair. So a virtual job fair. So it's the same as Maui County Virtual Job Fair and other job fairs, like, oh God, there's so many, Glassdoor and LinkedIn, and all of those basically have the same type of mechanics in the background. But I look at employers on a job fair as what's going to entice a job seeker. That's what's going to be most important to me. So that's what the things I'm going to share with you today is that, and we'll see if I can make this happen properly. There we go. So why we were created in the beginning was because of COVID. We wanted to make sure that employers had an opportunity to find job seekers that were displaced because businesses were closed. So we have the Maui County helping us out. We have UH helping us out, and we have the Maui American Job Center. So it's a combination of all three that has put this together. Right now, we have 535 jobs on our site right now and 276 employers, not counting the 30 virtual booths that are available right now. So lots of stuff going on and a lot of different moving parts. So I'll just share just little bits and pieces with you. We're going to go over tools and resources here, building a company profile. You can add team members, post jobs, manage jobs. So I'm going to just show you screenshots of a few things, which would be really helpful for you to know. But basically, our landscape has changed a lot. We do a lot more online than we ever have before. So you have to be a little bit more bubbly and bouncy in order to find that right candidate. So because of COVID, we have learned how to use Zoom and go to meeting and Skype. Well, we've used Skype for some time, but Zoom, we really, everything was on Zoom for me. And so in doing so, you have to present yourself in just a little bit more way, a little bit more active, because you're online. And, as we change screens so quickly, you got to have just one piece that's going to catch somebody. And so that's the basis of our landscape today. So those other job searches websites that I was speaking of earlier, we're going to go over Maui County Virtual Job Fair. Keku just went over HireNet Hawaii, but there are all these others that you can go to. And basically the mechanics are the same on most of them. It's the audience that's different. For Maui County Virtual Job Fair, it's for Maui County, Molokai, Lanai, and Maui. For HireNet Hawaii, it's for the whole state. So if you have an interest in checking out what's on other islands, going to HireNet Hawaii is a great place to be. If you want to work on one of the islands in Maui County, this might be a good place for you just to keep an eye on and watch and see how things roll. So basically, as I said, I'm going to go over the company profile and what is most important for the company profile. The profile is a brief window into what your company is, and you want to tempt a potential employee to review what you have to offer. So it's really important that you have a few things that I'm going to mention in my next few slides. So I'm going to show you screenshots of the company profile inside an employer account. And so one of the first things you're going to need that we're going to ask you for is a logo. So when you put in a logo, you want to make sure that you have it the right size. It's 250 by 250. It's the correct size for this site and some others. It might be 200 by 200 on others. But if you need to size that properly, you can go to canva.com, canva.com, and you can size your logo looking right. The reason why I mention that is if your logo is wonky, that's one of the first things that a job seeker will see. And if you can't get that right, how are you going to get everything else right? So if you need help with anything regarding putting your logo in, photos in, or whatever, you can connect with me and I will help you do that. You also are going to need to have a cover photo. This long cover photo is available for you to add a landscape of choice, the entrance of your building, another slide that might have information, why work for this company, or it can just be a picture. This is one I chose for this particular account. This is not a real account. I made it so I can share these things with you. Other things you're going to need that Keku touched on was first name, last name, company, and email. These are really important that you are, if I'm an employee and I'm doing this for my boss and I'm inputting this information, if I'm inputting my boss's information, that means that he or she is the one that's going to get the notification. If it's me, say I'm an HR director and I put in my name, last name, company, email, I want to make sure that I'm getting this information because you're going to get pinged a lot with a few different things, jobs and potential employees or candidates. So you want to make sure you have the correct information. Make sure that I think a phone number is terrific to have, but it's not required. And your website is not required. I think those two things are really important because we snoop around a lot. We want to see what actually is happening in a company before we jump in and go on an interview. You also need to have the sector put in because that's going to be really important for us to match you up with potential candidates. We have a founded date and we have an about the company. This part here about the company, you want to make sure that that is full. And I'm not saying you have to write a book. You can cut and paste from your website over to this portion of about the company, but I would look at this portion to entice somebody to work with us because we are growing, we are excited about what we do, things like that, that's going to get somebody excited about, oh, this could be a good opportunity to grow. So this is a really good opportunity for you to really share your stuff. And I think it's super important for a job seeker to click. And that's what we want them to do is click on us. Other information you're going to need, and this is very much like HireNet, we have a DCCA, we ask for a DCCA number, current, and or a Hawaii tax ID number. And so when we do get an employer, we do check and make sure that they're legal and valid here working in the state of Hawaii. And it's really important for us to do that to make sure job seekers are getting the appropriate opportunities. And then we also ask if you would consider a job shadow position or a paid intern position. And we do this because we are connected to UH and Maui American Job Center, who do talk to a lot of different applicants who would be interested in a job share or an intern position. So that's really important. If you want to do that, there's a little checkbox you can click yes, and that would be great. And then there's also terms and conditions. So you'll want to read through those, just like any of the other sites you want to go on, just to make sure that you agree with everything that we are presenting. And then you can also put in your social links. And I don't have a lot of people putting in their social links, but they are available to you if you want to, and I would go for it. For me personally, if I want to entice someone, I want to make sure they know everything about my company because I want to work with the best. And so this was interesting. I was listening to Keku on the HireNet. We have the same thing, a direct location. So when you are filling out your company profile, you're going to want to put the main location address on here. There is a place to put alternate addresses where the jobs might be in Lahaina, maybe in Molokai, maybe in Hana, wherever the jobs are, Kihei, Wailuku. You'll have an opportunity to change that address when you are posting a job. So I'll show you that as well. But this is really helpful for us. This is one of the things that I would look at if I was a job seeker and if I live up country. So if there are positions up country and it's a good company and it's up country, that is a slam dunk for me. So you want to make sure that if you have these opportunities, we think a lot different now about travel and about gas and things are getting a little higher and out of reach for us. So having an address close to home is a win, totally. Here you can add account members. So this is if the head honcho wants to be in the first screen and you want to add HR and you want to add a marketing person or whoever does your hiring, or has an interest in that, you can add them as account members and you can give them specific permissions, whether or not you want them to post new jobs, manage jobs, save candidates, things of that sort. So that's a really cool little feature. And then this next one is interesting. It's team members. And so as I'm telling you about the perception that you give to potential job seekers, this is one of those pieces. So you can add team members. And why would you add a team member? Why would you show some of your employees? Well, we have a lot of superstars in our community. And if you had, I'm just going to use Wayne Wong because he's a superstar. He is the director of the SBDC Small Business Development Center in Kihei. So if I added Wayne Wong as a team member and I saw that there was a job available and he was working for the same company and I thought he was just the best, that would entice me to go on an interview. So you can use this in that case. If you have superstars who are working with you and you want to show potential job seekers that they can be connected to those superstars, it's just one other way for you to show them what it is you're doing and who you have working for you. Affiliations is another one. Affiliations allows us to know that you're a part of the Maui Chamber of Commerce or the Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce or any of the Rotary, things like that. These things are really important to know that you are a part of the community and trying to make it better. So I'm just looking, I always look at my perspective thinking, what would entice me? What would make me want to jump in? And so all of these pieces are really important on the Maui County Virtual Job Fair. So now I'm going to go into posting a job. So up here in the top, you see job details. So that's the portion we're on right now. when you have completed this job, you're going to see that this confirmation will be blue as well. So you'll see that you have a fully equipped job posting that, and you can go on to your next. So basically, when you log into your account, you go to post a new job, and you want to make sure that you have the title of the job. The description is really important. And again, you can copy and paste from your site that you have now. But the job description is going to be really important. There's an application deadline that you want to reach. You want to put in your job sector, your job type, and your apply type, how you want them to apply, whether it's via email, whether it is in person, things like that. Through our job fair, you can select that as well. And then at the bottom here, you have salary. And I didn't put any requirements on that because every company kind of holds that close to the vest. But some companies do say it's a monthly or a weekly, and that's how you can do that if you want to. You certainly don't have to. But all of these pieces are really important for a job seeker to say, yeah, I'm in, I want to do that. There are also career levels. So you can have management and entry level. For experience, you can have how many years you've had on the job, and then qualifications, MBA, AA degree, high school education. So all of these are important for you to do. And you'll notice that if there's a little asterisk next to all of the pieces that I've shown you today, that means that they have to be filled in, because we just want to make sure that we're giving that job seeker every capability of saying yes when that time comes. And so what we have also are apply questions. So I love this part. This one is one of my favorites, because sometimes when you have a job and you need to make sure that that person can use PowerPoint or can use Excel or use any other program, you can actually have questions and have them answer them. So we have a drop-down version of questions. We have check boxes, numbers, 1, 2, and 3. We have a text box, text area, and then you could add a new question. And also on those questions, we have it mandatory. We have a mandatory button plugged in here. I can turn that red and make these questions not mandatory, but this gives you an option to work around it. If you want to move one up to the other, you can move right using these little blue boxes here. And what skills would be bringing you, what skills will you be bringing from your last position? That's one of the questions that I just popped in there because I'm curious what they did at their last position. And then what skills would you like to learn from this new position? So these are just questions that I put in. They're not real questions that employers put in, but I think they're great. And if someone was asking me those questions, that is going to put a little click in my head going, they really are going to be open to me learning more. And so that's a plus. That's an absolute plus. And then one more thing that you can add are attachments. So if you have a PDF attachment that fully explains the job description, or you have a brochure that you want to add to your profile, you can totally do that, or add it to this posting a new job. And then here is where you can put in that job location that's might be different from your main location. So this is where you would put that Maui County location, postal code, full address, and then the longitude and latitude are figured out for you. But this is where you can pop in that other address. And then now I'm going to go to managing jobs, because managing jobs is something that you need to be on top of. Oftentimes when I go in the back end and I look at jobs and I see that there are 3 people that have applied and they haven't heard back. This is where you can manage the jobs that you put in, and you can be pinged on a lot of things. So what I mean by that is if a candidate says that they're looking for a CDL driver trainee position, they will be pinged that this job just came available. You will be pinged if that person could be a good potential for you. So this website works in a couple of ways, that it's always communicating with one of us, whether it's us behind the scenes, whether it's an employer or a job seeker. So this is a really cool feature, one that I love. And especially if you have 10 jobs, you go to one place and you manage your jobs. So let's go one more here. We're going to go to actually managing those jobs. So right now, this job has no applicants, no visits, maybe because the expiration date was December 6, 2021, but it had one Instamatch. And that's what I mean by that ping. If you put in this job and somebody is asking to sign up for this type of position, you both are going to be connected via the system. Other things over here, this is an incredible box of tools that you can use that I'm going to share with you in 2 seconds. There we go. You could, let's go back here. You could view your job, see what it looks like right now. You can duplicate that job just in case there are 2 positions that are exactly the same. You can edit the job, whether it is financial, whether it is qualifications, what have you. You can go ahead and edit that, or you can absolutely remove it. There's one other box that I want you to be aware of, actually 2 pieces. One here, this little star means you're a featured job. We feature jobs on the home page of our website. So if you want to have a featured position, you can let me know at, what is my Gmail? It is mcvjfair@gmail.com. You can let me know if you want to be featured, your job's featured on the homepage. The other little thing here is filling the job. So it would be really nice to know if you had somebody that you met through our website and you got that job filled. So this little box, it might not be important to you, but it's certainly important to us because we want to make sure that we're doing the right things for you, the most things for you. So if you have posted your job and managed your job, now you're looking at all your applicants. This is applicants for one position. So this position is executive administration assistant, and it looks like Bradley Bowen has applied for that position. So I'm going to explain these boxes in a little bit, but I'm going to just go right here. So this is where you can view his information. I'm going to go over here. If you click preview, you're going to get his profile. You're going to get his resume. If you go one further and say actions, you can download his resume. You can email him directly. You could put him on a short list for an interview. And that means that you liked what you saw, but weren't ready to do your interviews yet. So this is where you could make him on the short list. And then when you're ready to have applications come in and interviews happen, you can go grab his information. I love this piece because it just allows you to, and also allows you to reject it and delete it. So it gives you some power so you can understand where these people are coming from and how you can connect with them. The boxes that I just told you about over here are total applicants. It'll give you, like, this position, the executive administration position, had 4 applicants. Nobody shortlisted Bradley and nobody rejected him. So these numbers are going to be pretty important for you when you are managing applications, because if you have 10 jobs, you're going to have a lot of people applying for jobs. So you just want to make sure about that. This little button up here is called Applied with Email. You have the option when you are putting in your profile to allow people to connect with you via email, and they can do that through their employer page. There's a little spot right on the employer page that will allow you to connect with the employer. Sorry about that. And then there's one very important feature, and that is our job fair. So this is our job fair schematic. And this is what we use for where we have a job fair going on today and tomorrow. But throughout, when we're not actually having a live job fair, you can ask us to put a booth up for you. And so in your menu on the left-hand side, it says RSVP for a virtual booth. Just log in, RSVP for the booth. It'll take you over to a form that will allow you to fill it out. We'll get notified that you want to be on the job fair, and we will place you on the job fair. So that's pretty easy to do. You can get through it this way through your profile, or you can go up to the navigation, go to employers, and then get featured. And when that happens, this form comes out, and this will allow us to connect with you. So you can do that either way. This is where jobs are featured. So that little star that I told you about, if you want to be featured, you let me know via my email, and I will be able to put your one of your jobs on the featured list. And we change this quite often, but it is on the homepage. So that, my friends, is the last part of my talk. You can connect with me. If you sign up as an employer, you can connect with me that way, or you can connect with me here at Maui County or mcvjfair@gmail.com. And I will get those emails. And my partner, Anthony, and I are the people who actually run this, this whole platform. It's a doozy. It's a big one. But it is probably one of the things I'm most proud of, because, the more I work with Maui County, I'm going to stop sharing right now. The more I work with Maui County, the more I realize how many jobs are available, how many programs are available. And all we have to do is find you and let you know that this is available, and it doesn't cost a thing. So I want you to know that, because that's really important. I don't see any questions here right now. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to be doing this presentation for the job seeker. So it's similar to this in that I want to show you how you can get noticed on the job fair. And I'm going to give you everything you need to do to be the one that employers click on. But for now, this is my presentation today. And if we don't have any questions, anyone? One of the questions that I get often is if it costs anything, and it doesn't. One of the things that Maui County wanted us to do is to make sure that this was a free service, so we can connect job seekers and employers directly from their home. And so that's what we've been doing. And again, it's been up since I think August of 2020 is when we started this program. So I'm extremely excited to be a part of it, and I'm excited to be here for you. So one question from Suzanne, will there be in-person job fairs? Yes. So with a lot of changeover that we had this year with the county, we do 2 a year. We do 2 virtual job fairs, and usually 1.5 per in-person job fairs. And those are absolutely amazing. And UH is involved, and Maui County, Maui American Job Center is part of it as well. And of course, we bring our tools and possibilities here to the party as well. So that one might be a little bit different in the coming months, because we might have breakout rooms and things of that sort. So stay tuned for that. And I'm really glad you asked that question, Suzanne, because this one's going to be a doozy. We were thinking about doing it for this one, but time got too short for us to maneuver. But our next job fair is going to be in person and virtual, and both of those landscapes are going to look a little different. So anyway, folks, I am more than excited to be here today and to be a part of this presentation. If you can go over to MauiCountyVirtualJobFair.com, take a look at some of the booths, let us know you were there, let us know what your thoughts are. It'd be awesome. Thank you. You're welcome, Suzanne. Tomorrow we have some incredible programs for you for job seekers. The first one we have is Julie Patel at UH, and she's going to talk about Good Jobs Hawaii. If you were in the first session, you heard a little bit about that from Dan Durger, rhymes with burger. Anyway, she's going to be talking about the job seeker portion of that. So Julie Patel has been part of this process with us ever since we started, and she's been an integral part of what we do. And she is our keynote for tomorrow. Design Your Life, Identifying Career and Life Goals. Her presentations are always stellar, so I can't wait for that. Then we're going to have the Maui American Job Center resources with a group of 6 people. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be active. I can't wait to see that. That's at 10:15. And then finally, moi, I will be doing Job Seekers Get Noticed on the Maui County Virtual Job Fair at 11:30. So for now, I'm going to sign off. If you want to go to those events tomorrow, make sure I'm going to just go to our website and click on information on the homepage, click on information for the job fair, and it'll take you to the button to attend tomorrow's talks. It's going to be a different link than it was today. So make sure you go over there and do that. And if you need me for anything, you can connect with me. I'm going to put my 866. Oh, I'm going to put my telephone number in here for you. Whoops. If I can spell my name right. There you go. If you need me for anything or have any questions, just give me a holler. I'd be happy to help you. But for now, Keku, thank you for a stellar presentation. You have been more than helpful and so willing to take part in this, and I truly appreciate it. You are awesome. And everybody else, thank you for joining us. Everybody who spoke today, Chantel Rowland, Keku, Jasmine Vasquez Castro, and then Leslie Wilkins. We had a stellar day today. So I want to thank you all for being with us. And we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to stop recording.